Hi, Somty and everybody watching. I just wanted to quickly respond to the video you made, and it was about, your pelvis being small and having a vaginal birth. I'm making this video mainly because I'm really passionate about this for us as Africans, and just for us to take back our health, like take charge of it, our cycles, our femininity, and just, understand how our body is supposed to be and how it works. I do know that a lot of us, including myself, have gone through a traumatic birth because of a lack of preparation and just, misinformation and lack of consent. So she did mention about her pelvis being small, the doctor telling her pelvis being small, and so she can't have a vaginal birth, and so for her next birth she's going to go straight into C-section. I would say that a doctor cannot tell from you on the operating bed during a C-section that you are unable to birth because of a small pelvis. There is a way to tell that, and I don't think that from what you shared in the story, she didn't mention anything that the doctor used those procedures to tell. And I'm mentioning this also from a background of knowing that a lot of mothers have been made to get C-sections and repeat C-sections based on this lie that their pelvis is too small. I'm going to leave as a resource for you on the pelvis, and I'm also going to advise that you watch this video. I believe it's on Netflix, The Business of Giving Birth. It is a great resource for you to understand the role that you yourself can play as an advocate for yourself in birthing. A lot of things are used so easily when things do not go as planned, and mostly it's pointing hands at the mother when it is the fact that there wasn't really great support, there wasn't great care that was given to the mom and baby. Also, one thing that is really huge is the fact that we do not have midwives anymore. I know that even back home, that the midwives are more like nurses to the doctor. They do not understand that midwifery is different from an obstetrician's work as a surgeon. He is not trained into maneuvering you, and I heard that at a point your labor stalled or the baby was stuck, and it was just about position, changing your positions. Do people have small pelvis? Yes, but it's very rare, very rare. And you could be one of the rare cases, but in your story I don't see an exam being done to tell that really you are one of the rare cases, and this has been done to so many women. And I think that, of course, where we would want to even start from is from healing from this trauma, which takes time. You don't have to totally heal, but just understanding what happened to you and the fact that it was not that birthing is some curse or something that you can manage. And so these resources that I will leave in the link or I'll put on the screen are some places you can go to just educate yourself. I recommend 100% if you have the money, as I see that a lot of people really have the money to travel or to get the best care for themselves, but they just do not have the right information. And so if you have the money, I'll advise that you hire a birth doula that is going to help you with education. They are more like not just giving you physical support, but they are also giving you support in terms of information, and they leave the decision. I'm not going to tell you do this or do that, but they leave the decision to you. That way you are making an informed consent. When a doctor walks up to you and tells you, so now we're going to do this. I mean, if you were me during my first birth, what do I know? I want my baby to be safe. I just lay down, they do whatever. But do those things benefit us? No. Most of the time, intervention leads to another intervention leads to another intervention. You know that if a mother gets Pitocin or epidural, the things that follows. It will be followed by the baby being in distress, and then there will be a need to go into the theater. those things are just really the what happens. But are we told about this? Are we told that these are things that can happen? No. We leave the birthing place thinking that this was our fault, or it was just birth that was really bad, but it is because of the interventions that took place for a healthy mother. Because a lot of us, we went into birth really healthy, we just went to the wrong people. OBs are trained surgeons, and so if you are not high risk, you have, what is your business seeing an OB? But I do know that back home it's like the midwives, like I say, they act like assistant nurses, and they are not really taking charge of midwife. I might be wrong. And so they are not using all these skills that as a midwife you learn. And for especially for women that are low risk. And that's also something I want to mention, that they always use fear to tell people that you are high risk. They use all sort of criteria, and the criteria for being high risk is not that big as I know a lot of obstetricians tell mothers. And it's a very vulnerable place. It's like, what if I do this and this happens? What if I decide this and this happens? And so that's why I'm inviting you to look into birthing doulas, to look into midwifery, to look into watching resources about birth and how things have changed over the years. Like I said in the beginning, this is not just for you, but for your children and your community. You can even take some courses if you feel like this is something that you want to know more about. I don't think I'll be practicing midwifery full time anytime soon. My kids are really young, but I think even having the knowledge and building on that knowledge so that you are at the disposal of people who need help in your community is really great. So that's what I wanted to say. So your pelvis is not too small. You can look into having a better, safer birth for your next pregnancy when you are ready.